Disclaimer about YouTube ads. Because the channel is hosted on YouTube, some viewers may experience advertisements unless they have a YouTube Premium membership. Hello and welcome. I'm Shay Wesley, the creator of New America Healthcare Protocols, a healing system that merges neuroscience, energy medicine, core medicine, and the divine intelligence of the human spirit. And for the past 7 years, I've dedicated my life to understanding how the brain heals, how emotions transform, and how every cell in your body remembers its original design of balance and peace. And through the New America Healthcare Protocols on YouTube, I teach how to rewire the subconscious mind, regulate the nervous system, and awaken the innate power that already lives within you. And every meditation, every word you hear, is designed to activate that remembrance, to bring the brain, the body, and the soul back into harmony. Today, you are not here to be fixed, but you are here to remember who you are and to recall the wholeness that was never lost, only hidden beneath survival. So as you listen, allow my voice to guide you home to that truth. Allow your breath to become your medicine, and allow your awareness to become your healer. And together, let's awaken the blueprint of divine health, coherence, and destiny that was always yours. So welcome to the New America Healthcare Protocols YouTube channel, where science meets soul and healed becomes your baseline. This meditation has been created as a healing frequency transmission for the children whose earliest moments began under chemical stress. Every word you hear is designed to speak directly to the subconscious mind, to the nervous system, and to the innate intelligence of your body, the part that still remembers balance, even after imbalance has occurred. So here, in this session with me, is the space where sound meets science, where compassion meets cellular repair, and where the blueprint of divine order is rewritten with intention and neuroplasticity. And in this session, we honor the fact that the brain is not static. It is responsive, regenerative, and able to form new pathways of safety and self-regulation when the language is heard. This meditation activates those possibilities through tone, rhythm, and imagery. The frequencies carried in my words awaken dormant healing codes within the body. So you may feel warmth, tingling, or maybe even an emotional release. Simply signs that the body is listening. So I want you to trust that this process is gentle and guided by intelligence greater than even our understanding. It is the same intelligence that orchestrates the growth of every cell and every rhythm of every heartbeat. So this session is intended for the children born into imbalance, the ones whose beginnings carried the echo of chemical interference, and yet whose souls arrived pure, whole, and still radiant beneath it all. For the little ones whose nervous systems formed inside wombs that were trying to survive in chaos, who came into the world already wired for vigilance rather than peace. Stimulants like methamphetamines and heroin are stimulants that flood the fetal brain with excess dopamine and norepinephrine, and this alters how neurons connect and communicate. But what science calls damage, spirit calls an invitation to repair. Every developing brain no matter its history, contains the potential to rewire, to rebalance, and to remember harmony. So this is not about judgment. It is a restoration, a reactivation of your balance. It is a call to return to the original divine blueprint before the chemicals, before the trauma, before the world impressed its frequency of fear. And we know that the central nervous system can be taught how to feel safe. The limbic system can learn again how to regulate emotions, and the prefrontal cortex can strengthen again, reclaiming focus, logic, and self-control. So I've designed this meditation to activate those systems through language, tone, and energetic intention, thereby repatterning the very neural circuits that once learned distress. So whether you are a caregiver, a parent, or even a practitioner listening on behalf of these children, I want you to know that every moment of focused attention carries measurable power. In neuroscience, we call this co-regulation, the way one calm nervous system can teach another how to calm itself. And even your voice, your steady breathing, your relaxed presence, these become the blueprint of safety that the child's body learns to mirror. Love is not just an emotion. It is a biochemical transmission that balances cortisol and raises serotonin. Your empathy alone can lower a child's heart rate. Your calm tone can realign their vagus nerve. And your belief in their capacity to thrive literally reorganizes their neural network for growth. Energy responds to intention, and this is an act of intention for healing, for balancing, a field where physiology and faith meet. The vibration of your compassion becomes medicine, and every time you return to love, the nervous system of a child somewhere learns to return to. So today, whether that is a child you know or that is your inner child waiting for release, I want you to take a nice deep breath in. Hold it, and release. And as you released that air, did you feel the air itself becoming charged with coherence? You see, when we breathe with intention, we create rhythmic patterns that influence the heart's electromagnetic field, a measurable signal that reaches up to 6 feet beyond our body. And your heart's coherence becomes a broadcast of calm, reprogramming the environment around you into one of healing potential. Every inhale draws in divine order. Every exhale sends peace into the collective nervous system of humanity. And you are not breathing alone. You are synchronizing with thousands of others who hold the same frequency of hope, who are listening at the same time as you. Together, we create a unified heartbeat of renewal. So now I want you to feel your breath connecting to this collective field of love, of children, parents, practitioners, and even teachers. This is the unseen network of souls who hold these children in light. And they, like you, carry the silent wish that every child may grow whole, capable, and free from the neurological patterns they inherited but did not choose. So as you exhale once more, I want you to know that the very act of your presence here is already a part of that healing. So now, let us begin our session together by creating balance in the brain. So as you breathe in, I want you to visualize a gentle current of pale blue light surrounding the child, or yourself if you were once that child. And this light carries the frequency of restoration, a vibration tuned to the exact resonance the nervous system understands as safety. It moves with intention, guided by the wisdom of the body that has always wanted to heal. So I want you to imagine that light flowing down into the brain stem and into the spinal cord, the roots of the central nervous system. And here lies the reticular activating system, the region that decides whether the body rests or remains on high alert. And in many chemical affected children, this system developed under stress, becoming locked in a state of constant readiness. But with each breath, the overactive circuits begin to soften, and your electrical impulses slow to a gentle rhythm, like ocean waves returning to shore. And your central nervous system begins to relearn what peace feels like. Not sedation, but natural equilibrium. Now, as this light continues to expand, it moves upward through the spinal column, soothing the fibers of your vagus nerve, the great communicator between your brain, your heart, and your gut. And every exhale activates your parasympathetic system, signaling that you are safe now. And we know that research shows that when the vagus nerve is toned through slow rhythmic breathing, it can reduce heart rate, calm cortisol, and rebalance your neurotransmitters. So you are not imagining calm, you are creating measurable physiological change. Change with the intention to do only what is for your highest good, for your highest purpose, while maintaining your highest health possible. Now this light begins to rise into the limbic system, the emotional brain. And here we meet the amygdala, your once hypervigilant from early chemical exposure, the hippocampus, keeper of memory and learning, and the hypothalamus, regulator of hormones and emotion. And each of these structures are bathed in warmth, and they are learning once again that stillness does not mean danger. And your neurons begin to fire in coherence, releasing serotonin instead of adrenaline. And your light's vibration reorganizes chaotic patterns into harmony, rewriting your brain's rhythm from survival to safety. This is not fantasy. This is core medicine at its finest. This is neuroplasticity. Your brain reshaping itself through experience, thought, intention, and sound. So I want you to see this beautiful soft blue current filling every crevice of your body, surrounding every cell with the message that calmness is safety, that peace is power. And your emotional body, once accustomed to turbulence, begins to synchronize with the steadiness of your breath. And in this coherence, your dopamine levels stabilize. Attention becomes easier, and the central nervous system releases its grip on old protective loops. What once was overfiring now moves in rhythm, what once felt chaotic now hums in gentle order. And your inner child is learning emotional language anew, not from chaos anymore, but from coherence and balance. And the cells of the heart, the neurons of the gut, and the glial networks of the brain all begin to communicate in the same dialect of peace. Every inhale speaks repair, and every exhale whispers release. Your entire body starts to remember its original frequency, the one imprinted before exposure, before imbalance, before fear. And the nervous system rests, the body rebalances, and the mind remembers its sacred truth that healing is not only possible, it is already underway. So here's where I want you to bring your awareness to the frontal cortex, the command center of your focus, logic, and emotional control. And in children affected by chemical exposure, this region often grows under stress, leaving circuits underconnected and chemical messengers depleted. But your brain is an artist of renewal. It can sculpt itself anew through experiences, repetition, love, and peace. So in your mind's eye, I want you to imagine golden light entering the front of your lobe, like sunrise spilling across a quiet landscape. And the neurotransmitters dopamine and norepinephrine begin to flow in balanced harmony, restoring motivation and stability. And with every slow inhale, we set the intention to feed oxygen to this sacred architecture. And with every exhale, we set the intention to release the residual noise of overstimulation so that the brain learns the language of clarity once more. So we allow this light to move inward toward your basal ganglia. And this is the region that translates intention into action. But when this system misfires, attention scatters and impulses rule. Yet, under the guidance of coherent energy, it regains rhythm. So in your mind's eye, I want you to see their silvery filaments reconnecting like the strings of an instrument being tuned. Each neural pathway aligns with the tempo of balance and peace. Information now travels smoothly between hemispheres. Decisions that once came from chaos now flow from centered awareness. This is the quiet miracle of synaptic recalibration. And in this session, you are experiencing firsthand getting to watch order replace disorder in real time. One breath, one signal, one spark at a time. So now, I want you to allow your awareness to settle into your cerebellum, that rhythmic dancer behind coordination and timing. Children who have been touched by prenatal chemical exposure often carry hidden tremors of imbalance, the body remembering instability. So I want you to visualize this beautiful, gentle, amber light swirling here, restoring symmetry to every motion. And your cerebellum hums in harmony with your heartbeat, reestablishing the conversation between movement and calmness. And as these frequencies align, both balance, peace, and grace return. Even fine motor skills, speech patterns, and social timing begin to resynchronize under this restorative current. Every inhale codes equilibrium, and every exhale releases hyperactivity. So we can imagine this radiant network, the frontal cortex, the basal ganglia, the cerebellum, communicating in unified rhythm. Glial cells multiply, myelin thickens, and white matter gleams with efficiency. Science calls it neurogenesis, but spirit calls it rebirth. And the brain, once imprinted by chemical chaos, is now receiving new instructions through your intentions. You are the conductor, the architect, and the healer within yourself. And it is your visualization that becomes the blueprint of rehabilitation. So as the energy flows, the child's system begins to trust its new design. Order returns, awareness stabilizes, and hope becomes measurable. So this is where we're going to pause for a nice deep breath, feeling the warmth gathering behind your eyes and across the crown of your head. This is your life reorganizing itself, neurons firing in synchrony, chemistry balancing, consciousness remembering. Today, your brain is balancing. Your focus is more clear, your emotions are steady, and your mind and body are learning peace again. So I want you to hold this knowing for just a moment longer, letting that beautiful light seal these patterns into place. And that the chemical affected brain, it knows it is not broken. It knows rather that it is adaptive, responsive, and ready to evolve beyond its past. So now, under the guidance of love, breath, and frequency, it already has. Now, this next layer of healing begins with your sensory world, the place where your brain meets reality through sight, sound, touch, taste, and motion. Children affected by chemical exposure often enter life with a world that feels too loud, too bright, and too fast. Their senses gather information faster than what the brain can interpret it. Colors are sharper, sounds more piercing, and textures can be overwhelming. And this continual overstimulation keeps their systems locked in vigilance. But within this meditation, we invite the sensory world to slow down and realign to become safe again. So walk with me now while we visualize a soft lavender light wrapping around your parietal lobe, your brain's interpreter of sensation. And this is the region that processes temperature, pain, movement, and spatial awareness. So I want you to imagine that light whispering to each and every neuron that you can relax now. And this is where your body begins to reestablish boundaries, understandings of where self ends and world begins. This boundary is sacred, and it gives you the ability to feel safe in your own skin. So as your parietal lobe finds balance, your body stops overreacting to touch. Your nervous system releases its reflexive flinch, and the world no longer feels like an assault, and it begins to feel like home. So with each breath, the sensory gates find rhythm. Input and interpretation move in harmony again. So I want you to allow your attention now to drift to your occipital lobe, the realm of vision and perception. And children who are exposed to chemicals in utero may experience visual disorganization, trouble processing color, depth, or even spatial distance. So in this moment, I want you to imagine a soft, silver blue radiance entering through the back of your head, mapping calm into the visual cortex. And this light carries photons of stability, rewriting how your eyes translate light into information. Faces become recognizable, shapes familiar, and movement predictable. So with every inhale, your mind begins to perceive beauty where once there was confusion. Colors soften, distances make sense again, and your eyes relax into their natural rhythm of curiosity and focus. And your visual world becomes safe to explore. Neurochemically, this visualization increases alpha brainwave activity, the calm awareness state associated with trust and learning. So it is in this stillness here with me today that your occipital lobe restores its relationship with light itself. So here's where we're going to bring awareness now to your temporal lobes, the twin chambers of language, sound, and memory. And here in this moment with me, we invite repair. So I want you to imagine a warm rose gold light surrounding both sides of your head, like soft headphones of healing frequency. This light vibrates with the resonance of understanding, rhythm, and communication. It begins to synchronize auditory processing, restoring balance to how sound travels through your central nervous system. And this is how you begin to hear love differently. Tones become safety. Voice becomes connection. And even if words were once triggers, the central nervous system learns that human sound can soothe. The auditory cortex begins to code language not as survival, but as belonging. And your left temporal lobe strengthens comprehension. The right begins to interpret emotional meaning. And together, they create harmony between word and feeling. Within this harmony, memory also awakens. The hippocampus, which is resting nearby, lights up in a pattern of gentle waves. New associations begin to form, sound with calm, touch with safety, and presence with love. And your inner environment becomes coherent, no longer fragmented by fear. And the internal chaos quiets, and your body begins to trust sensation. This is where neurotransmitters regulate, sensory neurons settle, and emotional circuits release and relax. This is integration, the body's way of saying, I know where I am, I know who I am, and I know I am safe. So here's where I'm going to ask you to take in a nice deep breath. And I want you to imagine the entire sensory network, parietal, occipital, temporal, they're all glowing in a unified light. Your brain's hemispheres communicate smoothly, and information travels freely through the corpus callosum. Every one of your senses begin to speak the same language of harmony, and your body no longer reacts to the world, it responds with balance. And this shift is profound. What once felt like chaos becomes a symphony of coherence and peace. Touch becomes gentle, Sound becomes melody. Sight becomes meaning. And you now perceive the world through the lens of trust. So as this new balance settles in, I want you to know that your senses are safe to feel, that your body is safe to receive, your world is gentle, and your mind is clear. You are in harmony with your environment, and your senses and your soul are one. So I want you to allow this new inner order to imprint into the subconscious layers of your mind. This is not just your imagination. This is neural restoration in motion. This is you taking action toward healing and balance. And your sensory system, once overstimulated and chaotic, is now learning peace as its natural state. Your body is remembering how to belong in this world. Now I want you to bring your attention to the center of your chest, that sacred space of your heart, the rhythm keeper of your body, and the emotional compass of your soul. Now science has confirmed what spirit has always known. The heart holds its own intelligence, and within it lies the network of over 40,000 sensory neurons, a heart brain that sends more information to the brain than it receives. And when the heart and brain are in harmony, this communication creates coherence, a physiological state where emotion, breath, and awareness flow as one unified signal. And for those exposed to chemicals in utero, this connection is often disrupted even before birth. The stress chemicals that flooded the mother's bloodstream are shared with the child, teaching the developing body to brace rather than relax. But here, I want to teach you that the body remembers how to repair. It only needs a new vibration to follow. And that vibration begins now, through your breath, through your presence here with me today, and through your heart. So go ahead, take in a nice deep slow breath through your nose and exhale through your mouth. I want you to feel your heart expanding gently as if inhaling light. And you can imagine a soft emerald green glow forming within your chest, warm, rhythmic, and steady. This is not your imagination. This is entrainment, and it's the heart adjusting to its rhythm to match the vibration of your calm intention. And every beat begins to communicate with your brain through your vagus nerve, telling it that we are safe now. And you are actively resetting your body's stress response system in this moment. Cortisol begins to lower, oxytocin and serotonin begin to rise. Even heart rate variability improves, the biological sign that resilience is being restored. You are literally teaching your body how to regulate emotion through coherence. This is neurocardiology in sacred action. Now, as this green light continues to grow stronger, I want you to visualize it radiating upward toward your throat and your brainstem, where your body interprets messages of safety. And now downward into your solar plexus and gut brain, connecting intuition with emotion. And these pathways together create what science calls the heart-brain axis, and what your spirit calls the bridge of truth. And your heart's electromagnetic field expands around you in a radius of several feet, silently informing every cell and every person nearby that peace is present. And for children, this field can become the very environment that reteaches their central nervous system how to feel secure. Their energy becomes a blueprint. Your coherence becomes their calm. And through repetition, these signals begin to rewrite the neural story of fear into one of trust. Love, when held consistently, becomes a biological medicine. Now I want you to see that emerald light becoming golden, glowing brighter with every single inhale. And this golden current carries the messages of restoration to the amygdala and prefrontal cortex, calming emotional reactivity and restoring impulse control. And your brain begins to synchronize with the rhythm of your heart, producing alpha and theta brain waves associated with healing and integration. And children who experience these frequencies often show measurable improvements in mood, focus, and empathy. This is because coherence allows oxygen and glucose to flow more efficiently to the brain's higher centers, and peace literally fuels cognition. So calmness becomes intelligence. So now, as this beautiful golden light pulses between your heart and your brain, I want you to visualize the two centers communicating effortlessly. And with every beat, your heart sends gratitude. And with each thought, your brain replies with peace. And together, they form a loop of unconditional love. And if you are a guide or someone who is holding space for a child, I want you to imagine this loop extending outward from your heart to theirs, connecting your central nervous system in shared regulation. Your breath becomes their breath. Your rhythm becomes their rhythm. This is resonant empathy, the energetic form of parenting, caregiving, and teaching through calm presence. It requires no words, only frequency. And in this space, healing occurs faster because the body recognizes safety not as a concept, but as a frequency. So today, your heart and brain are in perfect harmony, and you radiate safety to everyone who needs it. Your love travels beyond time, reaching others' bodies in peace. I want you to feel my words echoing through your magnetic field around you. This is your contribution to the collective regulation of humanity. One breath, one heartbeat, and one moment of awareness at a time. And we are reminding the next generation that calm exists within them, even if they were born into chaos. And you are proving that what once was imbalanced can be repatterned through love, science, and frequency. So now as that golden light continues to circulate, it begins to cool back into that beautiful emerald green, now steady, integrated, and complete. And the communication between your heart and brain is strong, rhythmic, and intelligent. And you have reestablished an inner symphony of coherence. Your nervous system has received new instructions: peace as the new baseline, love as the regulator, and connection as the cure. And every beat of your heart now carries the memory of this frequency, continuing to transmit balance even after this meditation ends. In this alignment, both heart and brain agree that healing has already begun. Now that coherence is established, let's move deeper into the cellular memory, the silent archive that holds the story of your survival. Every experience a child has, even before birth, leaves an energetic signature in their body. Cells record emotion through the rhythm of neurochemistry. But the beautiful truth is this: memory can be rewritten because biology listens to new language. Every thought you think, every word you speak, every frequency you emit becomes instruction to your body. And this is neurolinguistic activation, turning compassionate words into molecular code. Now here is where I want you to visualize soft white gold light flowing through every single cell of your body, bright enough to awaken, but gentle enough to soothe. And this light carries instructions for renewal, whispering across membranes, "You are safe to remember joy." And each mitochondrion, the power plant of every cell, begins to glow brighter, converting this loving energy into life force. Science calls it improved ATP production. Spirit calls it divine vitality returning. And you are now breathing a new story into existence. And with every inhale, cells open to receive this new data. And with every exhale you take, they release outdated programming from the past. So today, I want you to allow my words to move through you like waves, not just words to repeat, but frequencies to feel. Your brain and body remember perfect balance. Your cells are intelligent and they are listening and responding. Every breath that you take rewrites your story toward peace and restoration. And your DNA holds infinite potential for repair. You release the frequencies of fear and absorb the frequencies of love. You know that your central nervous system is now safe to rest, safe to connect, and safe to grow. Today we welcome harmony between chemistry and consciousness. Your mind, body, and spirit are working together as one organism of light. You are the medicine, and you are the miracle, and you are living proof that healing is real. Because in this moment, you are whole, and you are always meant to thrive. So as you hear my words flow, I want you to imagine them etching gentle patterns across your brain's neural networks. Axons reach toward dendrites, forming new connections. Glial cells, well, they cradle these pathways, insulating them with light. And this is your brain learning. Neurons that fire together, wire together. And in this moment, your brain is firing in the direction of peace. I want you to feel those words ripple through your body, integrating at the deepest core level possible. And they travel through your blood, up to your brain, down to your fingertips. And now that you know that you can experience coherence, your brain will never forget the pathway back. So right now, as you're resting in gratitude, I want to give your body a thank you for remembering all of its brilliance. Thank you for showing up for yourself today. I've been your guide, Shay Wesley. And I want you to remember that healing and purpose are your divine rights in this life. You are loved. You are guided. You are the living proof that renewal is possible. I'm Shay Wesley, and I've been your guide today. Let's talk again soon.